¡Anita! ¡Ay!
¡Ay, ay!
¡Sí se puede!
Well, our final presenter, did you choose this spot?
No.
How did it happen? Someone else a favor. Oh, she was doing someone else a favor. I'll have lots to say about that after the presentation.
Oh my God.
Anyway, here is Maria Hurtado.
Hurtado.
Hurtado. There you go, Hurtado. I got it right, parents. And her presentation title is hashtag journal entry. That's right.
About a month ago, while I visited a state prison doing restorative justice work, we were in circle, and the inmate said something that touched me deeply. To give some context, a month before, he had shared his cycle of harm essay. The prompt was, write an essay that describes the harm you caused and any insights you have made between the harm you experienced and the harm you caused. Don't be afraid to really explore this with as much depth, complexity, and detail as possible. These men have the bravery to tell their story, their whole story, the whole spectrum of their story. The story of them being a victim and the story of them being a victimless. To witness this has been life-transforming for me. So here we were, a month after he had shared his story, and he told us how he felt that he had shared his story so many times that there was an emotional disconnection from it. His exact words, which gave birth to this presentation, were, there is a distorted security and a familiar pain. Let me say that again. There is a distorted security and a familiar pain. As he said that, I burst into tears, because I don't know if I have ever told my story in an honoring way. And by honoring, I mean to really embrace the whole range of it. The sadness and the joy, the moments of certainty and the moments of doubt, the compassion, the rage, the lies, the truth, the hatred, and the forgiveness. I, like him, have told parts of my story so many times that I also feel a distorted security and a familiar pain. The fun anecdotes have always been easy to share for me. I actually want to have my own stand-up comedy show someday. On the other hand, the infinite miracles and blessings in my life have such a profound impact that it is very difficult to put them into words. It is more of a felt sense that should be expressed through movement, art, poetry, if I was a poet. However, when it doesn't feel safe enough and emotions are too overwhelming, I can't seem to find my voice to tell my story. And when I finally find it, there is a distance, a distorting distance, and an all too familiar pain. During this past 2.5 years that I have been here at CIIS, I have been asked how I ended up here numerous times. This question has been asked in every context, from an elevator ride to a date, to preparing for my conscious death and rebirth at the Rites of Passage Vision Quest I did a year ago, where I was asked to tell the story of my life and deeply explore the small deaths I had experienced. I can go this deep, or I could continue telling the 1-minute-long version of my story of why I am here, which is about a 15-floor elevator ride long, and that goes something like this. I had a major life crisis, so I ended up going to a spiritual counselor. And as a result of the process led by her, I realized that I wanted to help people. However, the whole concept of helping has shifted, and I smiled. Wait, that was not even a minute. It was 15 seconds, and we only got to the second floor. I don't want to continue doing this, because I have witnessed the power of storytelling, the healing, the vulnerability, and the beautiful reconciliation with our shame and other disavowed aspects of ourselves. I want to honor that major life crisis, which was the catalyst to this journey, and the reason why I am here, standing in front of you today. Share how my belief system fell short, explaining an accumulation of events, which didn't match my idea of what life was supposed to be. How, since I was a child, perceived something was off when people were treated differently because of their rank. How an accident I had 10 years ago challenged my sense of autonomy. How the lack of inspiration and passion for what I did for a living was considered normal and part of life. How my intuition was deeply wounded since I was 7 years old. How my capacity to trust crumbled down as I was betrayed by who I thought was the love of my life. And how in my attempt to be in love, I changed everything he asked me to the point where I no longer knew who I was. My containing myth no longer served me. I was scattered in a million pieces, afraid to start again, not knowing how to do it. But I did it anyway. Just like you would eat an elephant, one bite at a time. As part of this journey, I have been asked to explore, who am I? Why am I here? What brought me here? What am I made of? What is my substance? What is my essence? Who are my allies? In attempting to answer these questions, I've had to make a conscious effort of removing the layers that separate my experience from what is told. And by this, I mean to not minimize the suffering out of fear of revisiting painful moments, or not acknowledging the resilience I've had to grow from adversity, or not recognizing the commitment I've had to discover my purpose and meaning. Because I truly believe that life is too long to not do what you love. Going back to what the inmate said about the distorting distance and the familiar pain, I asked myself, is this distance the one that provides the distorted security? Is this distance a defense mechanism from the rawness of our stories? Is the familiar pain an expression of our numbness from our daily life? Is the emotional disconnection from our stories just our ego trying to protect us? I don't have the answers to these questions, but what I do know is that while we explore and share our story, it is important to have these questions present, hopefully helping us to come closer to our healing. Stories need to be told with their depth and levity, their contradictions and logic, its paradoxes. I want to learn how to embrace the space between stories. I want to regain the power in my story. I want to claim every bit of it and make it mine again. And from that place, be able to offer space for others to share their stories, where it is not about blame and shame, but to actually be heard, honored, and held. I dream of becoming a healer. And the definition of what a healer is that I resonate the most with is, a healer is not someone that you go to for healing. A healer is someone that triggers something within you, your own ability to heal yourself. I dream of sharing different tools that help us access our ability to heal from a soul level. I dream, and my soul dreams. Telling my story is a great way to start making my dreams come true. Carl Jung said in his autobiography, Memories, Dreams, and Reflections, which I read in my first semester here at CIIS, I can only make direct statements, only tell stories. Whether or not the stories are true is not the problem. The only question is whether what I tell is my fable, my myth. And on this note, soy Ana María, hija de Germán Hurtado y Rosita Jaramillo, nieta de Aura Gómez, Gilberto Jaramillo, Nur Chufi y Jaime Hurtado, hermana de Juliana y tía de Camila y Sebastián. Once upon a time, on September 3rd, 1979, to be exact, in Bogotá, Colombia, I was born. I grew up in nature, on a beautiful piece of land, surrounded by trees, animals, dogs, mountains, and rivers. This magical place is called Pinar del Rio. I always wanted to have long hair. But for some strange reason, which I still don't know, my mom would cut it short. So, Mom, calm down. So I would wear a pink wig, hang a blue plastic guitar with a microphone attached to it, hang it over my shoulder, and basically rock star my way through the world. My first encounter with death was when Neron, our dog, died. And 4-year-old me told my sister to stop crying, because anyway, everything alive had to die. When did I lose this natural relationship with death? I'm still trying to figure it out. I remember going horseback riding every weekend on my horse, Mandarina. And I also remember, as I was growing up and trying to fit in order to be accepted and loved, becoming someone I wasn't, and slowly moving away from my essence. Reclaiming my essence has become my path, and I dream of offering others the tools and space for others to claim it as well, so we can all live attuned with who we really, really, really are. My everyday commitment is to remember and reclaim my true essence. Campanita. I'm done.
I'm just testing you. How long were you staff there?
I was trained.
You were trained well. So Ana Maria has all these things here. La campanita? Several campanitas.
Several campanitas.
Can you say that?
Muchas campanitas.
Muchas campanitas. Also has other things, but I don't remember that. It might be private, right? I have a way of divulging things of people that I'm not intending always, right? Gosh, I always have a lot to say, and then when it comes to you, I'm like, okay. Ana Maria always sits on my left in class space. I do not know why. Oh, there we go. I feel so much better. And then my words came back to me. This is great. in the beginning when you said that you want to have your own show. What's the name of your show, your stand-up show?
I don't know yet. My manager will have to figure it out.
Who's the manager? You're the manager? What's the name of her show?
Just checking our accounts tonight.
Oh, you're checking it out.
Should well.
Doing well, right? Well, there's something to be said for the courage to get up and actually make people laugh, right? And there's also something to be said about the mythology around clowns, right? What's hiding behind the clown act, right? What's hiding behind the clown act? Now with Ana Maria, we know that there's a depth there that is expressing itself through humor. And I've often experienced this gift when I sit next to you. She can change the energy in the room because of that humor. But that doesn't deflect from the pain and the suffering. In fact, it leans into the pain and the suffering. That there's a way to spread love through that humor. So, I just want to acknowledge that our students come into the program and have had all sorts of life experiences. Some really tough ones, some easier ones. You were describing, you grew up in this most beautiful place. And there's also many of us in this room that have had aspects of psyche robbed from us. And what it takes to claim that back. What it takes to have the resiliency and the strength and the conviction in oneself to take it back, to take back what's yours. And I've witnessed this beautiful woman take back what's hers. And so now the campanita, the bells ring loudly. And so I can see her walking through the streets and maybe having a few rats following her. Bloom's coming along the way because she's ringing the bell and she's bringing all humanity to peace and justice. Okay, what do I do now? I have all these notes and I never really read them. I refer to them and they keep me stable and they keep me grounded and they remind me where I am. So there's so much that could be said to continue on of the brilliance in this room, these people that have shared themselves with you, offered a little gift. I could talk more about the program and how it has grown each one of them, and sometimes at some stages it's been really hard, and other times it's been filled with a lot of joy. There's the analogy that it's very difficult for a person to understand what growth is when you look from the outside, because when a seed bursts into fullness, it looks like destruction, right? And that's the experience in the East West Psychology program. So if any of you are in the audience and thinking about joining this program, you have to have kind of like a strong will that will get you through it. But definitely come and talk to me about what that requires, what kind of constitution that requires. But as you see with Peter and Robin and Amy, Campanita here, Ana Maria, I think that's her name, with Shannon and with Mallory, they all have a very unique disposition in the world. They came into the world with a very unique backpack. Ana Maria's backpack has lots of pineapples all over it, and that's her spiritual backpack. Shannon's backpack has got lots of little creatures, furry creatures of all shapes and forms and sizes and squeaking noises, and she brings all of them. They follow her. And in having the courage to walk this journey, you as their family and friends and significant others have been supporting them in this not always easy journey. So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to ask you in a few moments to assist in a crossing over, right? These students are students now, but in a few moments they're going to be graduates. and we're going to do a symbolic crossing over of the threshold. One of our previous chairs, Dr. Jorge Ferreira, always calls the East West Psychology program a rites of passage, rites de passage. And he's absolutely right. Besides the fact that I do teach the rites of I facilitate the rites of passage course, there is something about this program that helps transform and grow you, helps bloom you into a way that you were always meant to be. And it's not easy, and it's also magnificent. So what we're going to do is we have this beautiful little section here, and we're going to use it as the pulpit of becoming. Rites of passage and ancient rites were a way of externalizing an internal journey, right? It was a way of marking something, turning into something else. So marking a birth, marking a transition from being unwed to being wed, marking adolescence into adulthood. And with that comes something happens, right? Like, it's not just that you walk through a portal and, life's the same. No, you walk through a portal of becoming and something changes. So there's a responsibility that you each about to don when you walk through the portal. So I'm going to ask you before you go through if you're ready to do it by calling your name and making it very official. And then what we're going to do is have your loved ones assist in the ceremonial threshold. Let's see if I wrote anything that's of importance, because my notes are never important. So yeah, I wrote something very important here. To cross the threshold and enter into the realm of the soul, both physically and psychologically, toward a new state of selfhood. I must have been channeling that. So we're going to be making a portal. Where did it come from, right? We're going to assist these initiates through this spiritual portal into a new sense of selfhood. Now, officially, graduation is not until May 19th, but when these graduates, about to be graduates, walk across the stage at the Norse Theatre on May 19th, it's so fast that that's not really a ceremony. So this is the ceremony, you guys. So do you need a moment to get ready, makeup? That's it. Your shoes. This is a serious act. Shannon's like, out! Okay. So what we're going to do first is present a small gift. We're going to present a small gift.
I'm going to assist in this process.
Yes.
I'm going to let you try this. Okay. So there's gifts. I guess I'll say that. There's gifts for the journey. So there's symbolic gifts. Then they're also symbolic of the gifts and skills and knowledge and things learned here. You get to carry small gestures.
So, I have the box here. My students have called me the bag lady. The bag lady, the box lady, I have it all.
So I'd like to actually invite all of our graduates to come and stand in a half circle here with Ishtar.
Okay. So the first one is coming out. This is Shannon Gray Collier. European with me.
I'll light the way. And water and tea so it can be nice.
Valerie? I'm not getting it right.
Close enough.
It's close enough. Okay. Oops. say Kafaro. You say Kafaro, right? Kafaro. Kafaro. I'm Maria Hurtado. Hurtado.
Finally!
After all
It
this
took you 2 years!
Chaos is a part of life. Anyway.
That's yours.
Last year.
See how it goes. That means this is yours. By default. No, it does have your name on it. And Mira was the one who came up with this idea of putting the bottles on strings.
Yes, yeah. And there's small messages inside.
And speaking about Mira, I just want to take a moment before we do the portal closing to just acknowledge this woman to my right. She's either on my right, or she's in front of me, or she's behind me. She's always 10 steps ahead of me. As my teaching assistant, she really was my co-instructor, my co-facilitator, and she should teach this class on her own, but I'm not giving it up yet. It was the most amazing experience to have you along on this journey, what you gave to our students and what you brought. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to do it. We would like you please to stand and face inwards towards the portal. And if possible, also here, so that there's no gaps, because when they come through, they need support. Otherwise, they might not get through the canal. So the instruction for the portal holders, the threshold holders, the instruction is to, the students will go one at a time. You can yodel, scream, raise the roof, whatever it is you need to do. And just send them a lot of love, a lot of wisdom, and remind them silently to yourself with your vibrations, right? Remind them how beautiful they are. Remind them that they are going to make a difference in the world because they have already. Remind them who they are. Show the mirror, right? Because you've been doing that all along. Just before they walk, Mira is going to share a section of the poem.
So it's a poem from Jane Hirschfield. And in the poem, she speaks of the vow of this day. And to me, the vow is committing to the journey of bringing forth your unique gifts, the offerings you have to share, and it's the commitment to yourself. Today, let this light, let it bless you. With these friends, let it bless you. With snow scent and lavender, bless you. And let the vow of this day keep itself wildly and holy, spoken and silent, surprise itself inside your ears, sleeping and waking, unfold itself inside your eyes. Let its fierceness and its tenderness hold you, and let its vastness be undisguised in all of your days.
want to just remind you that if you walk through, you can't come back. And we have to kick you out of our nest. Because you've done your thing. So only when you're ready, you should do it. Right? Only when you're ready, you should take the leap. And you are all ready. We know this. Mary and I know this one for sure. So. Yes! I think Robin is ready! Robin John! I like this thing of going last. Yes, I do. Here we go. Get ready. Maria Hurtado. And last but not least, I want to say Janine Wilburn's name because she left and she was not feeling that great. But she wishes you all great blessings, and let's allow her metaphorically to go through. Janine! So someone down there, grab a bottle of champagne.